Hi, I'm Carol Andrews for another episode of Southwest TV News. Here are some of the stories we've been working on for today's show. Down this stretch of prairie landscape north of Swift Current lies the potential for a major helium resource and is now regaining interest from an American company, hoping to rekindle helium exploration in the area. This is the first week of the new school year, and as students and parents get back into their regular daily routine, motorists are also reminded to be mindful while behind the wheel. And as we await autumn's official arrival, Southwest Saskatchewan has enjoyed sunshine and balmy temperatures over the past several weeks, making up for the cooler-than-normal July. As the Swift Current Broncos prepare for the opening of the 2013-14 WHL season, the club has announced an exciting game night promotion called the Saturday Night Sellouts. Thanks for joining us here today. The Swift Current area is well known for its oil and gas resources and is now on the radar for helium exploration. We have more in today's top story. Down this stretch of prairie landscape north of Swift Current lies the potential for a major helium resource. This busy auto-wrecking site was once home to a helium plant between 1964 and 1977 and is now regaining interest from an American company, hoping to rekindle helium exploration in the area.
I've known about it for quite some time. There's been several discoveries of inert gases back in that era, and some were tested for helium and others weren't. It's just for some reason or another, Saskatchewan never took off. I guess they're not very large reserves, but they're reserves nonetheless. So given these high prices of helium, we think that that the areas up there should be exploited.
Sears adds that several wells near Swift Current were drilled and then shut in, with some of that equipment still remaining underground. Crews were to re-enter these sites earlier this summer. However, rain prevented the start of the exploration. Sears now hopes to be back on track within the next several weeks. And as far as use for the helium once extracted, it goes beyond that of balloons.
Yeah, helium's primary use is in its liquid form because it is the only element on the entire periodic table that will not solidify at temperatures approaching absolute zero. And because of that, in order to have superconductivity, these powerful magnets have to be bathed in liquid helium because it is the only way to achieve zero resistivity or superconductivity, one and the same. And all other elements will solidify at those temperatures. So there is no substitute for its superconductivity process. So MRI machines is the biggest user of helium, and nobody really understands that when you go into an MRI, have an MRI done, the only reason those are able to work is because those magnets are bathed in liquid helium, and helium has to be put in those machines on a fairly regular basis. So other than MRI machines, particle accelerators are a big user of helium, like the CERN particle accelerator in Geneva, physics laboratories, and lots of universities all over the world.
If all goes according to plan on the Swift Current project, Wild Helium hopes to have production underway by the first quarter of 2014, with a gaseous helium plant constructed on site. With the details on the actual costs on the project too early to project at this time. Southwest TV News will continue to follow this story as it unfolds. Southwest TV News is hitting the road with our annual Summer Around the Southwest tour, covering a variety of exciting events across the region. The Southwest TV News Summer Around the Southwest tour is proudly brought to you by Innovation Credit Union. Imagine the possibilities. Another exciting season of Market Square returns to downtown Swift Current, featuring live entertainment, fresh garden produce, crafts, and other unique vendors. Market Square, every Saturday at the corner of Central and Chaplin. Presented by Standard Motors, in partnership with Innovation Credit Union and Southwest TV News. Following 2 months of summer vacation, students across the province are back to school, and motorists are again reminded to slow down in school zones. This is the first week of the new school year, and as students and parents get back into their regular daily routine, motorists are also reminded to be mindful while behind the wheel.
Some of them, this is their first year. Kindergarten students are going to school. So just be very careful. Some of them don't know all of the rules yet. It's the onus falls on the driver. So slow down, be aware, and let's make sure our kids have a good school year.
Corporal Smith adds that the same rules apply to playground areas, and those that choose to speed through these zones will be issued a ticket.
The speed limit is reduced in our parks as well, down to 40 kilometers an hour. And the same thing, summertime, we're moving into the fall now. Kids are around. Remind yourself, slow down. We don't need any tragedies in our community.
Motorists are also reminded to obey the rules when it comes to school buses. Do not pass a school bus when the stop arm is extended and the lights are flashing. By keeping a watchful eye while behind the wheel, you can ensure everyone has a safe trip to and from school this season. W.W. Smith Insurance has reached a milestone as it celebrates its centennial. Having served Southwest Saskatchewan for the past 100 years, W.W. Smith Insurance is your motor license issuer, while specializing in all of your personal and commercial needs, including home, auto, agro, business, and life insurance. W.W. Smith Insurance, independently owned and operated since 1913.
Our company helps tell your story and provides you with a solution on how to market your business. Because making a great video is only half the equation. You have to know how to use it.
We have done a major.
Well, as the calendar moves towards autumn, many are wondering how long this nice weather will last. We find out all the details in this report. It's that time of the year with students back to school and producers busy on the field, taking off the annual harvest. And as we await autumn's official arrival, Southwest Saskatchewan has enjoyed sunshine and balmy temperatures over the past several weeks, making up for the cooler than normal July.
But we saw a remarkable turnaround come the middle of August, where prior up to that time, you couldn't find a day above 30 degrees. And almost, I think there was only one day in the first 2 weeks of August that was actually warmer than normal. Everything else was colder than normal. And then all of a sudden, about the 15th, it warmed right up. And my gosh, you've had 9 days in the last 2 weeks where temperatures have been above 30. And some of those have been like 35 degrees on a couple of occasions, 33 degrees. Normal in all of August, you'd expect 5 of those warm days, and you've had almost double them. Precipitation has been probably about a third of what it normally would be. So it's been that great Saskatchewan sunshine. I think there's only been 1 or 2 days in the last 2 weeks where you've had a little touch of rain.
And as the daylight hours become shorter each day, Phillips says the summer temperatures will stick around for a few more weeks before we see a sign of a cooling trend.
So we're talking about, 8 to 10 degrees warmer than normal, and that just wall-to-wall sunshine. My sense is that what you see is what you're going to get. We don't see this thing coming to an end, and it looks very favorable. Now, let's face it, frost will likely come before the end of September. Not necessarily a killing frost. On average, you get a touch of frost by September the 20th, once every 2 years. And so that's in the cards, but doesn't necessarily mean that you won't have a glorious September and into October. Probably snow before Halloween.
According to Environment Canada, sunny and mild temperatures will remain in the forecast for the short term. The seasonal high for this time of the year is 22, with an overnight low of 7. The Swift Current Broncos are hoping to see more fans out at the iPlex this season, and they've announced a new game night promotion. As the Swift Current Broncos prepare for the opening of the 2013-14 WHL season, the club has announced an exciting game night promotion called the Saturday Night Sellouts. On 4 select home game nights, those in attendance will have the chance to win an array of prizes, from a trip to Disneyland, a shopping spree, cash, and a 2013 Ford Mustang. An overall promotion which is hoped to create more excitement around the team this season.
We've been working on this promotion for a few months now, and we really want to try and get that exciting atmosphere with more people in the seats this year for sure. So we're going to focus on, 4 games besides our home opener and our season ender to try and really pack that rink. And we've came up with 4, I think, really great enticements to get people into the rink, and we really hope it can work and people do show up.
The Saturday Night Sellouts promotion came to light through a number of key partnerships, including Cypress Motors, who have this Ford Mustang awaiting one lucky fan.
Yeah, we've actually been a sponsor of the Broncos for just over 20 years, so always an easy decision for Cypress Motors to sponsor the Broncos. They are one of the most exciting events in Swift Current. Personally, I really enjoy going to the games, and they always put a good product on the ice, so it's always exciting to help them pack the Plex.
You're encouraged to buy your game tickets in advance for the Saturday Night Sellouts. Tickets are available from the Broncos souvenir store, the stable, or by calling the Broncos office.
And this side wants to develop, and this person on this side wants to develop, and this one doesn't. What's the next bad word other than annexation? It's expropriation.
Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at mylocaltv.ca. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.